It's time for another weekend at Keeneland as we count down to the Breeders' Cup. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Pick 5 Players Show. I'm your host, Michael Pellerin, aka Horse Guy Mike, and today we're going to be talking about the late Pick 5 at Keeneland this weekend. We got 2 stakes races on October 21st. We got a couple more weeks till the Breeders' Cup. Some last minute preps going on here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in to leg number 1, race 6. The Perryville Stakes, we're going 5.5 furlongs on the dirt, not turf, for 3-year-olds and up. And we've got some Kentucky Derby horses in here, cutting back in distance to that sprint distance. It's actually 7 furlongs, not 5.5 furlongs. So 7 furlongs on the dirt. First horse we're going to be going with, and we are going a little bit chalky here with our first 2 horses, and then picking a long shot here as well. The number 1 Verifying is your even money favorite. Usually don't like going multiple deep with an even money or below even money favorite, but I have a single later on in the card. I had some budget to spread here. I do think Verifying is very, very good, especially at these shorter distances. Last time out in Saratoga, 7 furlongs in the mud, got second to 1 in Vermilion, and maybe didn't like the mud. Maybe the little bit of a layoff's going to give him a chance to bounce back from that H. Allen Jerkins. Indiana Derby was pretty far. He did win that by a nose, went essentially gate to wire in that race. So I think cutting back to a pure sprint distance is what this horse wants to do. He's very good on the lead. Hopefully getting a clean fast track here. Should be very dangerous. The other one that I think has a chance against him from a long shot perspective is the number 3 Post Time for Brittany Russell and Sheldon Russell. Coming off of 4 straight wins at Laurel and Pimlico by combined 13 lengths in those 4 victories. Very good Maryland sprinter. Brittany Russell is dangerous in Maryland. We'll see. Obviously, she has some confidence. She doesn't ship out too often, especially going this far west. So she has some confidence here, entering in a stakes race outside of Maryland and even New York. So Post Time, I think at 15-1, definitely worth a shot to include here. And then the other one I want to include is the number 5, Dr. Venkman, coming off of back-to-back wins by 11 combined lengths. For Mark Glatt, John Velasquez on board, moving up in class, won its maiden, won an allowance, now going into a listed stakes race. I think Dr. Venkman has a great chance coming over from Del Mar. Maybe this is a prep. Maybe he wants to get a last prep in and then ship back out to California with the short layoff Breeders' Cup Sprint. Maybe that's an option here. So trying to get him some stakes experience before that. Either way, coming off of a bullet work at Santa Anita on October 14th, this horse, has huge potential. 102 Brisnet last out. That's better than anything that Verifying's done in a long time. So I'm going 3 deep in a 6-horse race with a low money favorite. This is not a strategy that I would consider doing long term, but I don't have a lot of love in the other races, and this being the first leg, I do want to kind of move on from here and then keep going. So going with 1 Verifying, 3 Post Time, and the 5 Dr. Venkman. Next up, leg number 2, race 7. We got 100K main special weight going 1 mile and a 16th on the dirt for 3-year-olds and up. The first horse I'm going to be going with is the number 1 Gamekeeper. And I like this horse's style as a front runner. Brisnet has him as an E. He hasn't been able to get a clean trip up front, and he's dropping down in class. He began his career at Oaklawn in 90Ks, moved up to 120K, 137K, moving back down to that 100K might allow him to, finally break his maiden. By honor code, Dwayne Lucas, Jamie Torres has had some good workouts here. Hasn't raced since Saratoga, but that race was on the turf. So Dwayne tried him on the turf to see if maybe that lineage kind of provided some support there. So cutting back to the dirt, going to a distance and getting the jockey back that he liked. So 20-1, I think this horse is worth including. Next, going to go right to the outside, the Single Dot Yacht, 8-1, Brian Hernandez. This horse is a closer. So raced at Churchill Downs, raced at Ellis Park, Stretching out in distance. We think maybe the stretch out in distance might be what this horse needs. Has gone from 6 furlongs to a mile at 3 different times. So maybe the extra half a furlong could help him make up some distance there. Also cutting back in class from 120 level to the 100 level. Um, Brian Hernandez, very good Kentucky jockey. So hopefully he can get it done there. And then moving to the number 6 horse, Ben Franklin, 9-2. Kenny McPeak, Julian Leperoux. Kenny McPeak, one of the best Kentucky trainers for these type of horses. This is only his second race. Ran at 120K maiden in September, so second race of lifetime. You kind of love to see these, inexperienced horses in races like this. It's hard to take the horses who have raced, 5, 7, 9 times in maidens, and they just can't ever get it done. I'd rather take a shot at a horse who's only ever raced one other time to maybe turn the tables and surprise and turn into a really good horse down the road. In that race, sat kind of off the pace. It's by City of Light, who was an excellent horse a few years ago, won the Pegasus World Cup, has had a pretty solid start to his stud career. So Ben Franklin is definitely one I want to be including here. And then I'm going to move to the outside again with the number 8, Mount Craig. And this is one of those ones who just been a grinder, been racing, 10 times now. Previously trained by Will Mott, now with Ron Marquette, Tyler Gaffleone. Love that combo more as a sprinter back in the day. Back in the days, like 2-3 years ago. So last race a couple weeks ago at Churchill, got third, pretty well beaten. I think the distance might have been a bit too long. They went a mile and 3/16 here, so cutting back a furlong. Race before that was at Saratoga on August 11th. Got a close second with the 94 Brisnet. If he's able to replicate that race from Saratoga in August, I think he'll probably win this race. Gaff is one of the best jockeys in the country right now. So I'm going 4 deep here. I've got a couple different running styles, front runner, inexperienced, closers. I feel pretty well covered here. Going 4 deep. This is my deepest leg, but we're going to go with these 4 horses right here. Moving on to leg number 3, race number 8. We have 130K allowance going a mile and a 16th on the turf. Another one with a ton of different horses here. Kind of a crapshoot. I'm going 3 deep. The first one I'm going to go with is the number 1, Lovely Princess. Another one, Kenny McPeak, Brian Hernandez, as I said in the last race. So last out, got second at Ellis back in August on the firm turf there. It was close, only beaten by a head. Got an 89 Brisnet, 2 back at Indiana Grand or Horseshoe Indianapolis. I got a 94 Brisnet, beaten by a half length. So this horse it's almost getting there every single time. And I think this is the perfect distance. It's gone back to back, mile and a 16th on the turf here in the Midwest. This horse comes from off the pace, so shouldn't be too far back, but has a good late kick. Was able to make up some ground there. Got barely caught last out. Hit the stretch in first, but got caught at the wire. So Lovely Princess has been having some good workouts. Beaten as the favorite last time. You're getting a little bit of a better price here at 5-1. So I think this one's definitely worth including. Moving to a little bit to the outside, number 3 horse, Not So Close, for Ricardo Santana and Norm Cassie. This horse is coming off of an allowance win at Saratoga, going a mile on the good turf. Went gate to wire there. Race before that also went gate to wire. Got beaten down the stretch to get second place. I love including a front-running horse on turf when you're getting a lot of these off the pace and deep closers. If we look at the number of E, EP versus P and S horses here, we've got a lot of speed in this race, but not many pure front runners. We have a lot of those EP5s, EP6, EP4 who want to be second, third, fourth. This horse, number 3, Not So Close, is the only one who seems to be, I need to have this lead. So picking the horse that needs to have the lead, who loves that style, is one I want to be including. And then the number 1 horse, Lovely Princess, who's that P style, who's going to be coming from mid to late pack. Definitely complements each other on a type of ticket like this. So next up, I want to go with the number 10 horse, and that's Walkathon, Julian Leperoux. And again, we're kind of mixing our bag here with an EP style, so doesn't need to be on the lead. Last race out, didn't really feel comfortable, got shuffled a little bit too far back. That was at Kentucky Downs. Typically in Kentucky, I like to just draw a line through those Kentucky Down horses. If they win, I don't expect them to bounce back and win again. And if they lose, I completely forgive it. Kentucky Downs is just such a weird track, the way it runs. So completely forgiving that 6.5 furlong run at Kentucky Downs. You go two back, race at Churchill, win a mile and an eighth on the firm turf there. One got a 94 Brisnet. Three back again at Churchill in May, a mile and a 16th on the firm. One got an 85 Brisnet. This horse is very good, can be versatile, can win from second, kind of powering through down the stretch, can win from third. So if we're looking for the number 3 horse not so close to be that lead horse, we should expect Walkathon to be sitting in second or third, just off. Hopefully the two of them can go 1-2. If not, Lovely Princess will be in a perfect position to pick up the pieces there at the end. So going 3 deep, 1, 3, 10 for this leg. Leg number 4, race 9, we have the grade 2 Lexus Ravens Run going 7 furlongs on the dirt for fillies, three-year-old fillies. We have some Kentucky Oaks contenders in here, some of the ones who have been on kind of that Oaks trail for the year. And I'm going against a lot of the kind of classic knockers, and I'm going to go with the number 7, who is the favorite here, who kind of came out of nowhere with Alva Star, coming off back-to-back wins, 100 Brisnet, 101 Brisnet, for Brett Brinkman with Tyler Gaffleon. I already mentioned how much we're a fan of Tyler Gaffleon in this pot, but I think he's really good at getting on these front-running horses on the dirt, especially in the filly division. Last ran 6 furlongs at Saratoga, won by 8 lengths. Super impressive in that grade 2 Prioris. No other horse in this field has come even close to doing anything like that. Next highest speed figure in this race is like a 92, 95. So that 102, if she runs anywhere close to that, this should be game over. So singling the number 7 Alvastar dead cold in the sequence. Vava, kind of interesting. Last ran at a Colonial and won on the wet fast track there in that Oaks. But you're going to get a fast track here against horses who are significantly better. I think Alvastar is the one to pick. So going Alvastar as a single. Probably most people single in the sequence. Alvastar and Verifying will probably be the two big singles. So hopefully we can get Verifying beat in the first leg, even though we are including it on our ticket. But we can get Alvastar home in leg number 4. And then moving into leg number 5, we have race 10. 120K allowance going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Went a little bit deep here. And again, like that other turf race, picked some differentiating styles. I've got 2 deep closers in the number 5 horse and the number 11 horse, Axthelm and Fauci. Both of them are deep closers. Axhelm, 7-2 on the morning line, coming off a 90 Brisnet. Went 7 furlongs again at Kentucky Downs, where I just want to draw a line through that race. Got near the lead, faded back to 5th, but going 2 back, that was its first race off of a long layoff. It was racing down at Gulfstream, going 5 furlongs on the turf, had a nice win, 90 Brisnet, came from off the pace there. So I think this horse wants to come from off the pace, does not want to be up front, wants to go a little bit shorter. I think the 5.5 furlongs is going to be its perfect style, where I can sit off the pace and get one nice late kick. So Axthelm for Safi Joseph and Luis Saez, what I want to be including here, and then the other closer going to the outside, Fauci for Philip Antonucci and Tyler Gaffleon. Always love when Antonucci sends him over. Coming from Saratoga last out, got second by a neck in an allowance race, 2 back in July, second by half a length, 87 Brisnet. So this horse is performing well at the distance. You're getting one of the best turf jockeys in Tyler Gaffleon. Maybe a little bit of a layoff here. It's been about 2.5 months since this horse has raced. Might get to him. But if he returns to that form, should be dangerous here. This horse debuted at Kentucky Downs last year. Got a 94 Brisnet that day, and then couldn't really follow it up. Hasn't had a win in a long time. 2-1's a little bit of a short price to take on a horse who hasn't won in a while. But the speed figures here are significantly higher than a lot of the other horses in this race. So I think Axthelm, Fauci, the 2 logical choices here. But the one I do want to include as my long shot is the number 4 horse, Zatip. And this horse is a front runner. The 2 that I mentioned, Axthelm and Fauci, they're both going to be coming from either off the pace or way in the back. Zatip is a pure front runner. And if you look at his last race, couldn't get on the lead at Woodbine. Draw a line completely through that. 2 back, again, couldn't get on the lead, didn't like it at all. Draw a line through that. But if you look at the races where it was able to hit the lead, last year at Laurel, at Keeneland, at Laurel again, um, it does great. If it can get on the lead or sit just off in second or third, this horse is able to go kind of gate to wire. And there's not a lot of speed in this race. There's only one E horse. There's 2 other EP horses here. I don't like either the EP. The number 3 is Zumbi, and the number 6 Of the Moment. I don't think they're very good. So if you look at who is the best horse that's likely to get on the lead, it's going to be this number 4 horse at 15-1. So if you've got the 2 logical closers, I want the best horse that's going to be close to the front in case they set, slow fractions and he's able to maintain a lot of that energy. I go, 48 or 49 on up front, and then save that energy. So going to number 4, Zatip as my long shot, and the number 5, Axthelm, and the number 11, Fauci as my last 3 here. So here's my total selections. Race 6, we're going 1, 3, 5. Race 7, 1, 2, 6, 8. Race 8, 1, 3, 10. Race 9, 7. Race 10, 4, 5, 11. Total cost is $54 on a 50-cent ticket. That's going to be it for me. Good luck, everyone, at Keeneland this weekend. We're getting ready for the Breeders' Cup. We got 2 more weekends to get through before the Breeders' Cup, and then we got a ton of content coming your way. Probably going to try to do 3 different pick 5 tickets for weekend for the juvenile and then 2 for the big day. So good luck at Keeneland, and may the horses be with you. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow along at Trust the Profits and at Horse Guy Mike on Twitter. All right, take care.